Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good afternoon.
My name is Ketan George, and I am here today as the Sergeant at Arms for today's Toastmaster Club. I welcome you all to the 737th meeting of Medley Toastmasters Club. Before we start, I would like to mention 3 ground rules which we follow at Medley Toastmasters. Number 1, please switch off your mobile phones or keep it in silent mode. I'll give you 10 seconds. Second, please refrain from talking about topics such as sex, politics, and religion. Third, please do not cross-talk during the meeting, as everyone in their life has a mission to achieve it. Likewise, our Medley Toastmaster Club also has a mission. The mission of our Toastmaster Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With this, I would like to call a person who is a product delivery manager at TCS, whose speeches reveal his reading habits. He puts his guests at rest with his affable manners. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome our Presiding Officer, Toastmaster Vinay.
Thank you, Dr. Ketan. Thanks for your wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, all.
Good afternoon.
Are ready for another exciting meeting, Medley's meeting?
Yes.
Okay, today's meeting is something special. Any reasons?
Your first day for the new expo.
We are starting with a new term. So Jan to June, the term is getting over, and then we are starting with a new term starting from July 1st. So we have wonderful leaders selected as ExCom members who is going to take us forward during this new term. So before we move forward, I would like to recognize the dignitaries present here. TM Thomas, our area past PR manager for the district, and the past president of Toastmasters, Medley Toastmasters Club, and TM Sudharaman sir, 2 times past president for Medley Toastmasters Club. Before we move forward, with the sound of favor, I declare the meeting number 13 open. So we all know that change is the only constant, right? So change provides the improvement and new experience and the growth and the new directions. So we all welcome change in our life. With that, we will also welcome change for this new term with the new ExCom members. Before we do that, I would like to recognize the current terms ExCom members, to recognize what has been done for the club so far, and then what has been like the changes that is brought in and improvement that has been done for the club. So I would like to start with the Toastmaster Dharan, who is not here, who is the Sergeant at Arms for the term, and Secretary Toastmaster Anuradha. Thanks for the wonderful MOMs and the photos, the current live feeds during the meeting. And Treasurer Toastmaster Pravda. And BPPR Toastmaster Prasanna, Vani. We don't have Shiva here, Vice President Membership, and Vice President Education, our incoming President, Toastmaster Venkataseshan. Thanks for the wonderful support for the ExCom that has been given by the club members, and thanks for the wonderful job done by the ExCom team members. And again, we will scale to the new height and we look forward for the new term. So with that note, we'll start with today's meeting. Before we move forward, we'll have the guest introduction. Guest Rekha, would you like to come and share a few words for the day?
Not guest anymore.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Still like that.
Oh, I just not a member. Yeah. So when did you enroll? Sorry, I missed that.
Last week.
Oh, last week, okay. Fine. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to you for becoming a member. You are saying that you would become a member in July, so I thought this was still okay. Good luck to become a member. Yeah. Toastmaster Priyank, she is actually from the Vidinagar Toastmasters Club. Now visiting our Medley Toastmaster. Could you come and introduce and say a few words? Thanks for joining us today. How did you come to know about the Medley Toastmasters?
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Priyank. I have moved from Virudhunagar to here, so I am looking for some clubs here in Chennai. I came to know a few people, Thomas sir, Prasanna Vani, she was emceeing in one of the event and I got to know this club. And I think Shuganthi Pereswamy also recommended this club because it's one of the coolest clubs. So I thought I'll come in person and attend this event. Thank you.
So how long have you been a Toastmaster?
I was a Toastmaster officially from 2012.
Okay.
Took some couple of breaks in between, so it's close to 6-7 years of active Toastmastering, and I keep coming back.
Yeah, Sajeev.
So I
Thanks for joining us
don't,
today.
yeah, I don't like as a guest actually. So this is my hi, good evening everyone. Sorry, good morning, good afternoon everyone. My name is Sajeev. I am coming from Nilangare. So this is my third session. So no, I'm planning to enroll this week actually. So from next week onwards, I will not be a guest anymore. So I know I have seen a lot of your speeches. I'm sure that definitely it will help me to overcome my fear of public speaking and all. So looking forward to overcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
thank you.
Kapil. Temperature is really hard, right?
Good afternoon to everyone. Actually, 2 weeks back I visited this club and I attended the event and I was enjoying the event. We had a lot of speeches and I was able to meet different people in the club. So I am coming. This is the second session for me. And as I said in my initial speech, I used to see the meetings are going on in the Toastmaster in companies. I worked in multiple companies, so during that time I used to see them. But in the work pressure, I was not able to attend those sessions. So this timing is good for me, 3 to 5. So thought of coming here and yeah, that's all I have. Thanks.
Okay, with this I will hand it over to the MC of the day, Toastmaster Anuradha. Toastmaster Anuradha, we all know, she's backup by profession, but she's the avid and then the enthusiastic photographer and then very much helpful and instrumental in the Medley's growth. So I'm happy to welcome Toastmaster Anuradha.
Few years ago, a patient came to me. She is around 40 years. She came with a report. The blood report shows elevated blood sugar and cholesterol. When I checked her BP, it was also high normal. Then I told, no need for any medicines. Just if you change your lifestyle and take care of your health, it will come back to normal. Immediately she told, no doctor, I can't take care of myself. I have to take care of my husband, my son, daughter. From morning to night, I have works. So I can't take care of myself. Only one question I asked her. That changed her life. She started changing her lifestyle. Till now, she is keeping all her parameters under control without any medicines. Good afternoon, Medley family members and guests.
Good afternoon.
That one question is, you are taking care of all. Who will take care of you? That was a question that provoked her to take care of herself. So she started physical activity, yoga, walking. Then she concentrated on her food. Previously, she used to take whatever is remaining in the home. That is most of the homemakers will do. From that day, She was very clear. She started taking only healthy food at right time. Okay. So today we learn how to embrace ourselves to achieve our goals. Okay, wherever in office or Toastmaster, wherever to achieve our goals, we should maintain our physical health and mental health. Okay. How to achieve our mental health and physical health? Anyone? How to keep ourselves physically fit? Yes, very good. Next.
Always happy.
Happy. Okay.
Positive thinking.
Positivity. Okay, we'll go one by one. First, let me start with the food. Okay. We should take food at right time, at right quantity, and right food. What do you mean by right food?
Balanced diet.
Yes, it should be balanced diet and unprocessed food. Nowadays, we are seeing lot of junk foods. Okay, that ad itself is attracting us, and even if we are not going, our kids are taking us to Pizza Hut and burger shops. So we should avoid processed food. We should take unprocessed food, fruits, nuts, and vegetables. This is about the quality of food. Then quantity, how much to take?
I used to take until I am full.
So the food is, we should, while eating, we should eat solid food so that it will occupy 50% of our stomach. So 50% of our food should be solid, 25% should be liquid, and remaining 25% we should leave empty for the digestion to be proper. So we should take a little quality food and we should allow our body to process it fully and completely digest it. Okay, this is about the thing. Then time, when to take food.
Right. And breakfast before 9.
Don't tell any time in the clock.
When you see
You see the clock in you when you are hungry. That is the clock, real clock for food intake. It's not wall clock. Only the clock inside your body, whenever it feels hungry, even initiation of hunger sensation, don't take any food, drink water and wait for a few minutes. If it subsides, leave it, because thirst also may feel as a hunger. Still, if you feel hungry, then you can take food. Okay, that is the right time. So, eat right food at right time in right quantity. Then coming to sleep. Normal sleep is around, we need, as an adult, we need around 6 to 8 hours of quality sleep. What do you mean by quality sleep?
No disturbance.
Without any gadgets. Before going to bed, we should keep the gadgets away. Because there is a hormone called melatonin, which is secreted only when it is dark. Okay. If it is bright, that melatonin will not be secreted properly. That melatonin hormone is needed for good quality sleep. So keep away your gadgets at least half an hour before your sleep. Okay. Right. Then coming to physical activity. How many of you indulge yourself in physical activity?
Early morning I used to walk at exercise.
Excellent. Okay. So any type of physical activity, walking, jogging, running, swimming, even Zumba dancing, yoga, any type of physical activity is good for us. Why? I'll come to that later after the prepared speech session. Now for the benefit of guest, let me explain the proceedings in the Toastmaster meeting. There are 3 sessions. First is prepared speech, where the members will be delivering their speeches according to their projects and their pathways. Second will be table topics, impromptu speeches. Topics will be given to the members as well as guests. They will be asked to talk for minimum of 1 minute, maximum of 2 minutes. Then third session will be evaluation, where the evaluators will evaluate the speeches of the previous prepared speeches, and all of us will be evaluating the role players and speeches. To take the meeting forward, we have the general evaluator. He is a software developer by profession, working as a technical head, passionate about coding and making music, and he is a Toastmaster for past 6 years. He is a person who took Medley to the district level. When I asked him how he will take care of his mental health when he is down, his reply was, he will boost himself by listening to music, watching movies, or going out for a ride. Let us welcome Toastmaster Jagan. He is the general evaluator for today's meeting. Welcome.
So we have about 7 minutes. I hope to complete this in 5 minutes. There is one point here which says, did the general evaluator properly introduce the grammarian? Who's to evaluate that? I hope the VPA takes note of all of this. This particular is also my role to evaluate, because I cannot evaluate myself. Somebody has to be sitting on the other side to evaluate. But I'm very glad today that the first meeting of the term, I get to evaluate the meeting's proceedings. So as a general evaluator, my job or responsibility is to evaluate from the start of the meeting, even before, 2-3 days before, whether the agenda was clear, whether the posters were sent out, whether we were active on social media to promote the meeting, and from then on where the roles were filled even before, 1 week before the meeting, and how we proceed in the meeting from 2:55 to 5 or 5:10 p.m. Today it is 5 p.m. The scheduled time is 5 p.m. and I hope we finish the meeting on time, because we have started it on time. If the agenda is clear, if it has been prepared very well, which happens behind doors, that's also my job as the general evaluator to evaluate. Now I have to evaluate today's proceedings. I have a team of 6 people, 3 of them who will come now and introduce their roles and responsibilities, and we have 3 prepared speeches they will be evaluated by 3 evaluators. Now to introduce the first set of people, which is timer, accounter and grammarian. I have the timer who's Sintana, who's playing the role of timer. I have not asked them the question of how do you want to be introduced? What is your thought about the theme? I want to go back in my memory lane to mention few things that I know of this person. I went back to Medley group. She's very passionate about cooking. She does gardening, she does traveling, and she's a software developer who works in automotive embedded applications. I hope you explain to us in one of your speeches next time what does this mean. Let's put our hands together to welcome Sintana to explain the role of timer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jagan. Good afternoon all, I am Sintana. I am going to play the role of the timer today. As a timer, I would time the table topic speeches, prepared speeches and evaluation speeches. I would provide alert to the speakers about the time that has been left out using the green, yellow and the red cards. So for the table topic speech, the speech should be 1 to 2 minutes in length. So at the end of 1 minute, I'll show the green card. At the end of 1 minute 30 seconds, I'll show the yellow card. At the second minute, I'll show the red card. For the prepared speeches, for the icebreaker speech, it is 4 to 6 minutes in length. At the 4th minute, I'll show the green card. At 6, I'll show yellow. At the 5th, I'll show the yellow, and 6th, I'll show the red. For the other prepared speech, which is 5 to 7 minutes in length, at the end of 5, I will show green. 6, I'll show the yellow, and at the end of 7 minutes, I'll show the red card. For the other prepared speech by Sandhya, it is 18 to 22 minutes in length. So I'll show the green at 18, yellow at 20 and red at 22. Yes, and for the evaluation speeches, it is 2 to 3 minutes in length. So at the end of 2, I'll show the green, 2.5, I'll show the yellow, and at the 3rd minute, I'll show the red card. Yeah, that's it about me, and that's it about the timer. So I'll show the report by end of the meeting. Thank you.
She's been kept busy by the VP8 who's sitting next to her, noting every time. So whoever is on stage, their time will be noted. It's not a warning. Please don't take it as a warning. It's just an information that we respect each other's time and as well as the people who have come here as guests. Our counter for today is Toastmaster Kalyani. I hardly have connected with her. I went back to the Medley group. She says her favorite quote, "Journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single story." When is yours? Single step, correct, single step. We are Toastmasters, step becomes story, story becomes step. But we want to know that single step that you have taken in your upcoming speeches. She listens to music, she enjoys it, she works in business process outsourcing. Please welcome Kalyani.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. As our counter, I'll be listening to what the speakers say and marking down in a chart any inappropriate word or sound used as space fillers. Fillers can be such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Inappropriate sounds like or I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase like I, this means. And then at the end of the meeting, I will provide the report. Over to you.
Thank you. So it is also a custom that whenever a speaker leaves the stage, it's good practice to give a handshake, not to leave the stage empty, which is something that I encourage all of us to do. And I'm glad the tag team is up for it. The grammarian who is Pravina Sriram. She's an MBA graduate who has worked in the HR and the IT sector. Most of us in Medley know that we have Toastmasters from the Middle East. All of them are associated with Gavel clubs. I don't know why. She is from the Middle East, or at least she is from here, but has been a Toastmaster in Muscat for 8 years. All of them have a pride in saying, I've worked with Gavel clubs, which is something we also look forward to. All of them who have come from there are extremely empathetic, nurturing, because they worked with kids. And she is a co-founder of Express and Talk Academy. And one more thing that I noted, that she collaborates with a firm called Reading Resource, which does summer camp for kids in public speaking. Let us put our hands together for Pravina Sriram to explain the role of the grammarian.
When I started from my house today, knowing that I'll be taking up the role of a grammarian, I still managed to forget my reading class, which is definitely not sagacious of me. So, good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. So that is the word for today, sagacious. I was wondering how do I introduce this word differently, and I guess the forces made me forget the specs so that I can come and introduce it a certain way and make you all smile in spite of it being a boring way. That is what people think of the introduction to a word of the day. So yes, I could definitely bring some smiles around. So do you want to know exactly one more example which will definitely nail it onto your head, especially when it comes to the married folks here, which are much more in numbers? After 25 years of marriage, my husband and I have realized and have been sagacious enough to know that silence indeed is more powerful and golden. So yes, I can expect many more usage of this word. But let me also give the proper definition of this word, sagacious. It is adjective. Having or showing keen mental discernment and good judgment, wise or shrewd. Apart from the word of the day, my other role as a grammarian is to note and keenly observe the good grammatical usage of the English language. Yes, because I know as Toastmasters and even as guests over here, we all definitely have a very good usage of English language. So I'm looking more to coming here at the end of the session to give wonderful report about the excellent usage of each and every member over here. I guess I have a bit of telepathic feeling along with Jagan, because I too wanted to come and say it is not one way. If I have made any error in my way of communication, or if you feel I've had a very good usage of English language all through the time from now till the very end, you can be very free to say that also, and that will be towards the end so that you people are not in the firing line and I will not take revenge on you. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, Praveena. So I'll leave it up to you all to evaluate me as well as the general evaluator, and the ExCom is waiting for critical comments. So Venkat, I know he can take a punch, and I will throw punches at you, Venkat, as well as Prasanna, Vani. Over to the Toastmaster.
Thank you, Vani. Now let us start with the prepared speech. The first speaker, she is an MCA graduate, worked in IT for 10 years, now a happy homemaker, enjoying her life at home as well as in Medley. When I asked her how she will take care of her physical health, she honestly replied, till now I didn't start it. Okay. I told her to start from today. She is Toastmaster Kausalya. She is giving her icebreaker speech in the pathway presentation mastery. The title, Nike. Time is 4 to 6 minutes. To explain her project details, I welcome her evaluator, Toastmaster Dharan. Pravda. Toastmaster Pravda.
Thank you, TMoD. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The Toastmaster Kausalya is giving her icebreaker speech, level 1, project 1. And the purpose of this speech is to introduce herself to the club and to learn the basic structure of a public speech. The time allotted is 4 to 6 minutes. All the very best, Toastmaster Kausalya.
Let us welcome Toastmaster Kausalya. Toastmaster Kausalya, Nike. Nike, Toastmaster Kausalya.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. 24/7 work experience or working culture was introduced in my city in 1889 through Harvey Mills. Can you guess the city? I will name a few brands associated with the mill: Louis Philippe, Van Heusen, Allen Solly, Peter England. Any guesses? Madurai, yeah. So Harvey Mills later on became Metropolis. I was born and raised there. During my final year, BSc Mathematics, I saw an ad in the paper for a junior category job. I applied and I got in. After 2 weeks of the job, I was asked to produce my degree certificate, which I didn't have at that time. So the admin lady was furious and she gave me an earful and she questioned me, how could you attend an interview while studying in a college? Then after a month when I submitted the certificate, then only she started talking to me. I enjoyed the work culture there. The seniors helped me to code, debug and test, and more importantly they suggested few books to upgrade myself. Later on I got married and I moved to Bombay. The very next day, it's a new city, the very next day my husband put me in a computer institute to learn Oracle, which was latest at the time. It was a 30 days course. After 20 days passed away, I was very bored and I thought I should start working as a part-time job to kill my time. And I was suggested a recruitment agency in the adjacent building. I've never heard of a recruitment agency in my life before. So I took 10 pages of resume there. 1 page was about me, rest everything, my certificates, ration card, passport copy, and even my rental agreement. So the agent looked at it and smiled and said, there is a visiting faculty job availability for 5 to 7, would you like to try? And he said there is a telephonic interview. Again, I've never heard of telephonic interview. The interview happened the very same day and I joined it. 15 students were there to my testament. I was taken aback, I was shocked, but that course, the teaching time made me to upgrade myself. I went to the book market and I got a lot of books and I started studying. Nothing went in my head because those were the wrong books. Then I contacted the other faculties and senior members and I got good books and I upgraded myself. Due to medical complication during my daughter's birth, I stayed in Madurai for 8 months. I was out of job, and then when I went back to Bombay, I was very keen on learning web development. So I enrolled in a course. It was a full-time course from 9 to 4. And when I was doing my project, the director offered me whether would you like to teach.
And then I said, sir, I'm working in a project. He said, no, if you are technically strong, you can start. And 20 engineering college students were there. They were all seniors. They had 3 to 5 years of work experience in their respective fields. The problem was that I may be technically strong, but they were very scholarly and studious, and whatever exercises you give them, they'll finish it in a minute and they'll say, what next? So it was very difficult for me to keep them engaged. Again, I ran to the book market and I upgraded, I studied myself. The time went very good. It was a laughter and fun riot. Sometimes in the board I would have written, I have drawn a flowchart, or I would have written some method, how to arrive at a solution for a problem. On the other side, they will just put a vertical line and write some song, and in the lunch break they'll sing the song. One such song was from Boy's Own Smile, Everlasting Smile, so I had fun there. Unfortunately, I got placed as a programming analyst before my students. So we all have heard of the brand Nike. It says just do it. Let's not wait for the right time, right place, right circumstances to do something. Last meeting, our general evaluator said, what will happen? You will fail, you are not going to die. So let's just start something. Here I am in Medley. One fine Friday, I told my sister, I want to improve my communication skills. I can't speak fluently, I get stuck. Sometimes I can't express, I can't find the word to speak properly. She said, join Toastmasters, which I have never heard of. The next day, I was in Medley as a guest. The speakers, the role players and the evaluators, one was a surgeon, another one was a PhD holder and HOD, and it happened in IIT Research Center. It was pretty intimidating for me. Then I attended a couple of sessions and I understood everyone has come here to improve themselves, to enhance their skills and to reach their goals. So let's all do it and enjoy our time there. Here. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kausalya. Your icebreaker speech was like hearing a movie in the radio, like Thiraikadai. Thank you, it was nice. Let us move to the second speech. It is by a chartered accountant by profession and sincere Toastmaster, ready to take up any role at any time during the meeting. When I asked him how he took care of himself during lockdown, what might be the answer? He didn't even think about that. He enjoyed his entire lockdown by watching movies and with her kid. And after lockdown only he realized the importance of physical activity and other things. Let us welcome Toastmaster Rajesh Shagu for his speech. And before that, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Priya. Yes. Priya.
Thank you, Madam TMoD. Toastmaster Rajesh Shagu is doing leadership development pathways. Today he will be delivering level 1 project for evaluation and feedback. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of the speech is 9 nights, 10 days. The purpose of the project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Thank you. Back to you, team.
Thank you. Let us welcome Toastmaster Rajesh Shagu. His topic is 9 nights and 10 days. It's like a holiday tour package.
How many of you stayed at a different place to write a board exam? May it be hostel or may it be rented house? Anyone?
Yes, me.
Okay, one. Okay. Not many. More than 2 decades back, when in the month of April, when the sun was blazing in the sky, on a Sunday summer noon, 40 adolescent students were taken up in a 407 truck, okay, which is generally used to carry army personnel, and landed at a school in a village. They had to stay there for 10 days. Good afternoon, Madam Toastmaster, my fellow speakers and friends. Yes, they had to stay there for the next 10 days. Many of the parents could not afford the minimal fees for the food and stay. So some of our teachers have taken the burden of those fees. One big classroom was occupied by boys, approximately 25 in numbers. Another classroom for girls and teachers in the office room. So there is no fan for the students with a single table fan for the teachers in the office room. The asbestos roof of the school and the 100-watt bulbs were multiplying the heat by many times. Anyone was hardly able to sleep due to the heat and the excitement of being together for the next 10 days. I, being the son of the mathematics teacher, was advised to sleep near the teachers in the office room. But I somehow denied it because I did not want to spoil those 10 days and wanted to enjoy those sleepless nights with my friends. So who wants to miss the night gossips? We used to get up early in the morning before sunrise, not to do yoga, but to attend to the call of nature. There is no bathroom, so we had to go to half a kilometer from the school near a pond to finish the job in the dark. For drinking water, we did not have any aquaguard or any filter, so we had to carry water from a manual hand pump in a bucket. The cook staying with us was the father of one of my friend. Being the friend of his son and the son of mathematics teacher, I had the privilege of having some extra curry or one extra egg or some chicken in the meal. Else it was rice and some curry served in a plate made up of dry leaves. But the joy of having the meal together with friends superseded the on-demand meals pleasure at home. I used to go to the exam hall every day with extreme enthusiasm and a sense of responsibility, being the best student in the class. A girl sitting behind me used to disturb me by asking questions. Out of empathy, I used to tell her some of the answers, but I did not realize that the extra empathy shown to the girl will cost me a low scoring paper. There was a time when I fell ill due to the extra heat and the sleepless nights. All of the teachers surrounded me. Some was massaging my head, someone was giving me glucose and ensuring that I should get up and go to the exam. Somehow I gathered courage and went to the exam with though little delay from the scheduled time. Even there was a time when one of my friend had to drop out from the exam because of malaria fever, which I think might be due to the unprotection from the mosquitoes in that school. This struggle mixed joy of writing the exam went on for 10 days. It was the 10th day when we had to depart from each other. With a heavy heart and tears in our eyes, we had to say goodbye to each other. We all came back home with a sad face because the departing from friends and that is the end of the school life. After 2 months, when the result came out, the happiest person in the world were my parents, because their son had not only secured the best place in the school, but also secured the second rank in the whole district. I was felicitated by the sub-collector on the Independence Day. The trophy and photo, which are still in the display rack of my home. This struggle of 9 nights and 10 days paid me back as a sense of achievement and a lifelong joy. Today, when I look back, I don't see the pain. I see the joy, the happiness, and the achievement or success which I have today. Thank you and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rajesh, for narrating your story like a movie. All of us enjoyed. Third speech is by a dentist by profession. She likes to be called as a passionate communicator. According to her, Toastmaster is a forum which keeps her alive. When I asked her how she take care of her mental health, she told she will spend 10 minutes alone daily without any gadgets and people. Alone time is her energy to take care of her mental health. So let us welcome Toastmaster Sandhya for her speech. Before that, I would like to call her evaluator, TM Sundaraman sir. Ulagam Sutrum Valiban, please welcome sir.
Good evening, Toastmasters and friends. Today, Toastmaster Sandhya would be delivering a project from the Dynamic Leadership Track Level 5. Prepared to speak professionally. The time for this speech would be 18 to 20 minutes. The title of this speech is Positivity, and she has been mentored by Toastmaster Priyadarshini. The purpose of the project is for the member to practice developing and preparing a longer speech, meaning a keynote speech. So wish you all the best, Toastmaster Sandhya. Over to TMoD.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Toastmaster Sandhya. Thank you. Positivity, Toastmaster Sandhya. We'll continue with the theme. I stopped that physical activity is a must for all. The answer is a sound mind in a sound body. Our area director, Toastmaster Saravanan, has mentioned this quote in his last week's speech. Sound mind in sound body. For us, for the mind to be happy and peaceful, we need a healthy body. The reason is, if you do any physical activity, it will release the happy hormones. We remember happy hormones? Dr. Pravda was discussing when she was doing TMoD. DOSE, D-O-S-E. D for dopamine, O for oxytocin, S for serotonin, E for endorphin. These are the happy hormones will be released when we do any type of physical activity. So that is important for our health. And if you do meditation as well as breathing exercise along with physical activity, that will improve our mindfulness. Okay, what is mindfulness? Whatever we are doing, our entire mind should be concentrating on that. That's called mindfulness. To increase our mindfulness, that breathing exercise and meditation will help us. Let us do practically the breathing exercise. I request all of you to sit erect with your spine straight and gently close your eyes. Hands in Chinmudirai like this on your lap, both hands. Just follow my instruction. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. One more. Inhale the positivity. Exhale the negativity. Last time. Inhale the opportunities. Exhale the gratitude. Slowly open your eyes. Now your mind will be calm. Why we need mindfulness? If you face any challenge or challenging task or situation, we should think mindfully to face it. To test our mindfulness, now we have table topics by Toastmaster Nishana. She is the co-founder of Workline, SaaS-based HR tech company. Let us welcome Toastmaster Nishana to conduct the PT session.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Table topics is an impromptu speech where the members as well as the guests are invited to the stage to talk about a topic. Now the time for table topics is minimum 1 minute you have to talk and maximum of 2 minutes, and post which you will have a grace timing of 30 seconds to finish your talk. So to start with the session, we'll invite first Toastmaster Priyadarshini. The moment you faced irrational phobias. Toastmaster Priyadarshini, the moment you faced irrational phobias.
Can you explain this irrational word?
Irrational.
Irrational phobias.
How is it irrational means here?
Anything that is irrelevant but you have faced.
Not logical. Sorry, not logical.
What a right question in this right platform. Yes, we all, many of my friends, including my dear ones, whenever something comes up to me, the very simple answer they give me is, come on, you can do this. I go to give my exams and my sister says, come on, you can do this. The reason is, fear, I'm not able to express the fear on my face. Some personalities are such that you always carry yourself in a very confident, strong, all that expressions are strongly inhibited in me. And whenever there's a sense of fear, everyone, especially my friends, they used to say there's competitions in schools. Who is taking part in this competition wants to be a leader? Come on, Priya. And I'll be like, no, never, I don't want to do this. The same thing happened when I joined Toastmasters. I was very new in the sense for 5 months. It was the first IAC competitions which happens. It happened. And one of our VP calls me and says, we have this competition coming, I would like to see you on the stage. I was like, no way. He says, come on, Priya. We have seen you on the stage before. Friends, believe it or not, even when I was giving my project speeches back-to-back initial days, till my 9th speech, I doubted myself. Why am I so nervous? People say only when you're doing something wrong, you need to have that fear. I was doing everything right. Even when I'm coming to the club, Medley club, I used to feel so scared. I felt it is definitely not needed. When I knew what I'm doing, when I'm preparing myself so well, and I'm a person who makes myself so thorough, then only go to the stage. And I go with my mentor every time. But still it's not happening. It took some time for me when some of my seniors started telling me, might be you are taking yourself very seriously. Just try to live the moment. No one is going to judge you after that. It's just a minute. You are taking yourself very seriously. There are many such instances in our relationships, with our situations, which is definitely not needed. But we carry so many phobias. We miss that minute. And then we cry and complain, I should have done this. Even there are many such instances I felt because of that insecure feeling, that unnecessary fears that I carried, I could not do my best. I'm trying to be myself, and I've taken this platform to fight all my phobias. Over to you, TM.
Second, we'll call upon Toastmaster Venkataseshan. Art that inspired you, Toastmaster Venkataseshan. Art that inspired you.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters and guests. I'm not interested about the art or any other thing, but I'm talking about the human value. Last week, my friend wanted to distribute foods in Tinagar for the beggars and other people, those who needed it, near Tirupati temple, Tinagar temple. I went there. We used to give food packets to everyone. I got a big slap. One 80 years old lady, she took one, I gave one. The extra one is there. I was about to give, I told my friend, just give the extra pack also, we will finish it off. But she told me that this is enough for me for today. See, another old man, old beggar is sleeping there. He doesn't have food from morning. On that time, I told my friend, we are thinking about that savings, mutual fund, shares. We are calculating about the interest or any other thing. See her, she is struggling for the next day food. On that day night, she told me that, she told us, I got enough. Just give the packet of that old man who is sleeping there. He doesn't have food. Then I thought, we have learned a lesson. I told my friend, we have learned a lesson. We are calculating each and everything. Those peoples, they don't have food for the next day, next day morning. But they are thinking about others. We should also think about others. We should give it back to the society. Thank you. Thank you. Nice topic. Thank you.
Thank you. That's inspiring. Next, we'll call upon Sri Anand. What makes someone a hero? Sri Anand, what makes someone a hero?
Well, good afternoon, dear Toastmasters and dear guests. What makes a person a hero? The first quality that a person who is termed to be as a hero should be very kind among people and should be democratic to people, and he should treat everyone as an equal in the aspects he looks on, and he should be more knowledgeable about society, and he should gain some positivity among people. He should spread positivity among people to gain his attention, not in a negative way, which may also create an positive vibration among the people, and which also creates an positive domain among or image among people, and which creates an majestic appearance, majestic image of him, and which also is a seamless and very optimistic, very he should be very visionary, and these are the terms which I feel as a person to be a hero.
We'll call upon Sanji. Saji.
Hi.
Vulnerabilities are good or bad? Saji, vulnerabilities are good or bad?
What vulnerability? Only sad.
Vulnerability is something that you know that you are lacking, or something that you are afraid of, something of that sort. Thomas.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I would say vulnerabilities are in some of the situations will be good, and in some of the situations be bad as well. So most of the time we should work towards improving that vulnerability. But if you take the other case, so like no, if you want to, some situations happen, and if you want to hit somebody, and no, as a you may be fear to do that, but as a thinking about the movie and all, if you go there, it will not be situation will not be like in the movie, right? So there, you can punch him, that opposite person will not hit you back, but in the real life will get beaten. That's I have faced, so that's why I'm saying. So in some of the situation, vulnerability will be very good, and most of the time we have to work to overcome the vulnerability. Yeah, thank you.
We'll call upon Rekha, Toastmaster Rekha. Okay. Toastmaster Suhail. You are Rekha. Rekha. Please come. Sorry. Is there ever a time when giving up makes sense? Toastmaster Rekha. Is there ever a time when giving up makes sense?
Good evening, everyone. Maybe I, in my point of view, I have to start saying two things. One is on the personal side, by giving up myself, by giving up my ego, by giving up my time, I am making the people in my family happy. So that way I feel giving up really makes sense. And the second thing is giving up my time for the society. So that way I feel, if I feel content in my life, if I feel happy on the life that I have, I feel I can certainly contribute to the society. That way I feel giving up my time is making really happy that I had fell off late in my life. Despite the fact being that we all are vulnerable, we all are self-conscious, we all being a mortal, I feel giving up ourselves for the situations around us, making us feel happy about the way that we conduct our life. Thank you.
We will call upon Vijay Rajan. Attitude is a little thing that makes a huge difference.
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. Good evening, Toastmasters and my dear guests. Attitude determines the altitude. Yes, indeed. Attitude matters for anything and everything. What goes inside your mind, what do you believe in, that is what comes out. Whenever we feel that something can be achieved, something can be done, in the deep heart, I strongly believe that yes, it can be achieved. Attitude determines not only your spirit, but also your attitude can also influence the other people around you. Attitude can be felt by the other person. Attitude is not just a mindset or something, it is a vibration. It can be felt everywhere. So yes, Table Topic Master, attitude matters.
We will call upon Suhail. A goal properly set is halfway reached. A goal properly set is halfway reached.
First, we have to start with the smaller steps. Small steps leads to the success. So, one small goal we have to take. That is what the initial point. Simply sitting, taking a thought of taking action in the future is not going to take us anywhere in the future. My own example of being in the Toastmasters, standing here, I took the decision of enrolling into a Toastmasters in 2019, but it took 3 long years for me to enroll in 2022 August. So, of course, we had the challenge of COVID in a year. So, this 3 years or 4 years, 2018 to 2023, this 5 years after I started my career, I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about taking actions, which I don't know much when I was studying, when I was in my college or schooling. Most importantly, when it comes to my my work life as well, I faced a lot of challenges in my work where I moved into an automation team where I have to learn new tools and technologies. I was scared. I was standing away from the crowd. I was scared in speaking in front of the people on the tools and technologies which we use. But one small step I took, I checked for the institute which teaches me that course, and I learned them, and I developed that skill, and over a period of time I became master in the tool. So I took that small initiative, that small goal, which helped me a lot in succeeding in my professional life, as well as standing in front of the Toastmaster giving me table topics. Thank you.
We call upon Kumaris. How do you pull yourself up after a failure? Toastmaster Kumarisan, how do you pull yourself up after a failure?
Thank you for the nice topic. How do I pull myself after a failure? This is like, I can little change the title as not for myself, it is for everybody. I mean, not everybody only see the success in life. Everybody see the failures as well as success. I mean, if you take any way, if you go on a road, definitely you will see the speed breaker, then regular road. The ups and downs, failures and success, it's a part of life. Everybody, each and everybody has to face it. And how do we face it? How do we overcome? How do we get up from the failure? That really matters. And if you ask me the question, how do I take it as forward? I see every failure as every learning. I'll do my own retro, say that what I learned, why did I make this as a mistake, which went wrong. Then I take my own learnings. Then I'll ensure when I do the next action, I won't repeat the same mistake. It's a one small step. Might be a small mistake I made, I learned a small thing, but I will ensure furthermore whatever the things I do, that small mistake never ever repeat in further things. I mean, when you go for a success, not only deciding the way to take it forward or to take a plan towards success or succeeding in life, we should give equally importance to how do we overcome the failure, because we are the best person. We know our positives and negatives. We are the best person. We know what are our drawbacks. So when we concentrate on our failures and drawbacks, when you start developing with them, success is not too far to reach. It is very near to reach. Thank you, Timer. I think I am sagacious to timely finish a topic.
Thank you so much for all of your participation. So after a long time, I'm coming back to the club again, and I was little bit wondering whether Dinakaran is going to announce me as one of the guests and ask me to give the feedback. So yes, thank you for the opportunity.
It was a sagacious move to have DT now, since we have an issue in the laptop. Now back to the speech. Toastmaster Sandhya, positivity, Toastmaster Sandhya.
Madam TMoD, DTM, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Greetings and good evening to all of you. Good evening. Year 1945. 2 bombs in Hiroshima, Nagasaki devastated the entire place. No remains left. And it just looked like this. This happened in the country of Japan.
entire country of Japan went into fear psychosis into a nutshell. They were locked into their houses and they never came outside. The worst part, Japanese lost respect for their own country. And this continued for the next 5 years. 1950, Japan decided this is not good for the country. We cannot remain like this. Let's achieve something and let's become number 1 in the world. The world will look upon us. When the world looks upon us, automatically our own people will start looking big about Japan. So in 1950, they set a goal. In 10 years' time, Japan will become number 1 in textile manufacturing. Did they do? Yes, they did. 10 years later, in 1960, they again set a goal. Japan will become number 1 in steel exporting. The beauty, no iron ore, no coal in Japan. But still, they set a goal. Did they achieve? Yes, they did. In 1970, again, they set a goal. Japan will become number 1 in automobile manufacturing, and they did it. Today, any goods, quality products, if not Germany, the second country that comes into a thought, it should be from Japan. Japan has set a standard. They have set a quality for themselves today, from what they were and for what they are now. There could be many reasons for a country which was ruined into pieces to a country which is right now like this. But the major reason, positive mindset of the entire country. This is to just say the power of positivity to turn over an entire country into world number 1. Moving on with the session, we will just see 2 questions. 1, why positivity? Why do I have to develop? 2, how positivity? How do I develop? Moving on to the first question, why positivity? You must be thinking, Sandhya, we are all positive people only. See how positive we are. Why do I have to externally develop positivity? Ladies and gentlemen, there are 2 reasons. One internal, one external. Internal reason. Let's imagine that it's mango season. A mango fiber gets stuck on to your tooth, probably during dinner. What does the tongue do? The tongue goes on touching the tooth with the mango fiber. See, you have 32 teeth, I have 32 teeth. One tooth there is a mango fiber, other 31 teeth are clean. Did the tongue touch the 31 clean teeth? Why only the tooth with the mango fiber? Why did the tongue not touch the clean teeth, only the dirty tooth? Let us understand, that's not your problem, neither that's my problem, that's manufacturing defect. Let me explain you. Research shows that the nature of the mind is to trace negativity than positivity. Nature of the mind is basically designed by the manufacturer to track negativity more than positive. Imagine in a second standard class, the teacher writes a 2 table, the entire table is correct. 2 tens are 30, she writes, the entire class will shout. Why till the 9th one she was right? Did the children shout? No. When she writes 2 tens are 30, the children shout. Why? Mind gets attracted towards negativity more than positivity. So, there is a manufacturing defect inside us which is created to protect us, and therefore we need to input some positivity from outside. So that's one reason. Now let me go on to the second reason why do we have to develop positivity. See, I was in 5th standard and I went to Coimbatore to live with my grandma. I'm native of Coimbatore. And my grandma was cutting vegetables with a knife and I immediately took the knife and started cutting. She said, no, you can't. You are 5th standard and you will get hurt, you will bleed and all that. So I threw the knife and I went off. Me and my cousins were trying to climb the staircase 2 steps at a time. You know, that was a game of those days. 2 steps at a time. Running, and my grandfather said, you should never climb 2 steps at a time. You will trip and you will get fracture in your leg. Don't do. And from then, I'm 45 now, I've never climbed 2 steps at a time till today. The word, you can't. People around us, our lovable ones, our friends, due to their extreme affection on us, they have said, you can't do it. How many times have they said you can't do it? 138 times they have said you can't do it. So today, if I have to repair a bulb, I put a stool and I get up, 138 times you can't well rise. On top of it, I have to go and I have to repair the bulb. So imagine the kind of positivity I should have. Do you heard of bumblebee? If you have not seen, this is how it looks. The bumblebee has a big body, very thin wings. Research people from aerodynamics, they have said, oh, this bumblebee cannot fly. Rather, it shouldn't fly because the body is so heavy, wings are so thin, it shouldn't fly. But bumblebee flies. It flies flower to flower, taking nectar, it enjoys life. Do you know the reason, people? It does not understand the language of human beings. If it would have understood, our men will go call the bumblebee. Hey bumblebee, you cannot fly, you will fall, you will hurt, you please be in one place. They would have definitely told. So, the reason for us to develop positivity, number 1, internal, manufacturing defect. Number 2, external, our people have conditioned us with the word you can't. So therefore, we have to do something to imbibe positivity by a habit. So today, let me tell you 2 tools how to develop positivity. Not much, only 2. Number 1, the most important tool, vocabulary. Check your vocabulary. We have been using negative words without being conscious about it. Imagine a beautiful girl walking like that. We hear people saying, she looks deadly. She's still breathing. Why can't you say she looks lively? If someone is extremely rich, we have been so used to saying, they are filthy rich. They are stinkingly rich. Why would a wealthy person stink? Why can't we change to say fragrantly rich? There's hell of opportunities in this organization. Opportunities is to grow you to the next level. Then how can it be hell? It should be heaven of opportunities. We have been trained to use the negative as positive. We have to be sagacious in using positive words. Be very conscious about using it. Let me give one example. Start using the word and instead of but. New president, one of the new members goes to the president. They say, I want to present a project next week. The president says, I understand you want to present a project, but there's no time. This is scene 1. Scene 2, the president can also say, I understand you want to present a project and will figure out a way how you present in the coming future. You presented excellently, but you were low confident. But you presented excellently, and here these suggestions to be more confident. But is a negative word inherently. The point is, when you use but, the first sentence, the preceding sentence also becomes negative. So avoid using but, start using and. Small corrections, check your vocabulary, turn them into positive. Automatically your thinking and the mindset will become positive. The second, The second, 2500 years before, Gautama Buddha, he just said 3 lines. Buddham charanam gacchami, dhammam charanam gacchami, sangham charanam gacchami. Look at the third line. Sangham charanam gacchami. Check your acquaintance. Check the people, the closest 3 people whom you are moving with. In my 8th standard, I was living in an apartment in Thenampet. There used to be an uncle called Venkatraman uncle near my house, and I used to play chess with him. Venkatraman uncle will always win and I will always lose. For the first 4 months, it was going. I thought somehow I want to win Venkatraman uncle, and in the 5th month, I won, Venkatraman uncle lost. 6th month, again I won, Venkatraman uncle lost. But what I realized, as long as I was losing, my game was improving. As long as I was losing, my game was improving. As long as I won, my ego was improving. I was surrounded by Venkatraman uncle, whom I looked up to. He became an inspiration. But when I won, my ego was so big, I thought Venkatraman uncle is looking at me. If we want to grow in positivity, surround yourself with positive people. Is that enough, Sandhya? You go to Bangalore, you go into a rose garden, stand in the rose garden for 10 minutes and you come out. You smell of rose. Did you pluck the rose and keep it? No. Did you take the rose petals, smear it and apply it all over your body? No. Did you put it in the mixie, made a chutney? No. You just went, stood, came out, you started smelling of roses. Similarly, when you are in the middle of positive people, whom you look up to, whom you get inspired, they will lift you up. Such people will help you to be positive. You will imbibe their thoughts subconsciously. You will read their actions subconsciously. See, you have never been walking. Suddenly one day you started jogging, which means you are now surrounded with people who are health conscious. You have always been reading books, but of late you are not touching books, which means now you are surrounded with the people who say, hey, don't do book reading, it is waste of time. Somebody must have said. You would have not even listened to it, but the thought has actually gone into your head. Your actions depend upon the people, close acquaintance, whom you are with, close acquaintance. Their attitude becomes your attitude without you knowing it. So that is why we say, Sangham Charanam Gacchami. Be careful about whom you be surrounded with. Build positive acquaintance. The research also shows. There was a study, this is the second study. The first study was by Kellogg's B School. Kellogg's B School studied 100 students who finished their study and came out from Kellogg. And they watched these 100 students for the next 10 years. In the next 10 years, 10 students became millionaires. 90 students had an average way of life. When the study went deeper and deeper and deeper, they found that 10 students were surrounded by people who were already millionaires or who were aspiring to be millionaires, and eventually they also became millionaires. Don't we say your net worth is equal to your net worth? Forbes magazine says this. Your net worth is equal to your net worth. So please be sagacious about the people who surround you. Be wise in selecting the people. In fact, Jim Rohn says, stand as a god at the doorstep of your mind. Don't allow everybody to go in. Stand as a god at the doorstep of your mind. Open the door only for certain people. Don't open it for everybody. So 2 tools. Check your vocabulary. Check your acquaintance. Build positive vocabulary. Build positive acquaintance. So what happens because of this? Because of this, you start thinking positive. Your thought becomes words, so you start speaking positive. Because of this, your words become actions. Your actions become positive. Actions which is consistently done become your habits. Your habits become positive, and habits decide your character, and your character becomes positive, and your character decides your destiny, your future, which is positive. This presentation I presented in TVS Sundaram Motors for their annual conference. They took me to Munnar and spoke for 90 minutes on positivity. How did they track me? They saw me in LinkedIn and they called me and asked me to present positivity. So I presented the previous slide. One gentleman from the crowd got up. So madam, what do you say? If I develop positivity, I will not have any failures. Will my destiny be always positive? I just said, sir, when you develop positivity, the chances of becoming successful are very high. All marriages start on the Muhurtam time, but all marriages are not successful. People walk 365 days, but still get a heart attack. When you become completely positive, the chances of becoming successful is very high. But one thing is guaranteed. If you are negative, the chances are failure guaranteed. It's guaranteed. So that's my point and message today. Positive thinking might not give you 100% success, but you have high chance of becoming successful. Negative thinking guarantees failure, and therefore kindly check your vocabulary, use positive words. Check your acquaintance, have positive people around you. Live positive, create your positive future. And thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sandhya, for spreading the positivity to the entire Medley Club. Now let us take few minutes to vote for the best speaker of prepared speech and best TT speaker.
This is a voting ballot at the back of the agenda.
Voting ballot is printed in the back of the agenda. Please vote for the best speaker and best TT speaker. Let us move on to the evaluation session. Sir? Okay, thank you. Timer, please tell the qualified speakers prepared speech.
All the three speakers are qualified. TM Kausalya, TM Rajesh Saha, and TM Sandhya. All the three speakers are qualified.
Okay, since all the speakers are qualified, I request all of you to vote for the best speaker. And for TT speaker, timer. Please tell the qualified speakers with their name.
TM Venkat, TM Shriran, guest Saji, TM Venka, TM Jerajan, TM Subai, and TM Venkataseshan.
Thank you, timer.
Please call the names. Let's call it the hand. They can identify them and vote.
Timer, please read out the names of the TT speaker little slowly. And I request all the TT speakers to raise their hand.
TM Venkataseshan, TM
Shriran,
yes, Saji,
Saji.
Venka,
Saji, please raise your hand.
TM Vijayarajan,
Vijay sir.
TM Sahai, and TM Kumaresan.
Please vote for the best TT speaker. Now we will move on to the evaluation session. To carry out that evaluation session, let me call the general evaluator, Toastmaster Jagan, to conduct the session.
We had three prepared speeches, so we will also have the three evaluations today. So we had a last minute change, and before going to my report itself, I'd like to thank Pravda for taking up the role of the evaluator just at the last moment. It felt as though the VP also knew it at the last time, and thanks for taking it up. So Pravda will evaluate the first speaker, Toastmaster Kausalya, who delivered from the pathway Presentation Mastery, Level 1, Project 1, Icebreaker. What comes to your mind when I say Pravda? What comes to your mind?
Russia. Reliable.
Yes. Calming.
No, I remember BTM before Toastmasters ATM. That's
Dose is something that Toastmaster of the day picked it up. Dose, the happy emotions. So she has been here for quite some time, and we all know her as a very good friend. She's very calm, very composed. Professionally, she is the HOD of the dental department in Satyabama. Let us all welcome Pravda to evaluate the first speaker.
Thank you. Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters and guests. First of all, give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Kausalya for taking the very first step of her 1,000-mile journey, the icebreaker speech. The icebreaker speech is to introduce the speaker to the club. Toastmaster Kausalya, she structured and drafted her icebreaker speech like a melody drama that began as a college student in her hometown, which is also my hometown, Madurai, from where she started her early career, and she took us and how she traveled from Madurai to Bombay, and again she came back to Chennai, and she also added why she joined Toastmasters. What I liked in her speech is the choice of words. It was very simple and appropriate to the content what she wanted to deliver. The second thing that I liked in her speech is the flow of words while delivering her talk. It was so casual, and it was like a water flowing in a stream without any hindrance. And I also have to appreciate her for engaging the audience and adding humor to her in her very first speech. I have a recommendation for you. I know since it is your first speech, you probably would have been a little tensed, and you have to check on your body language and facial expression, because you held your right hand in one position almost throughout the entire speech. So when you can casually use your body language in both the hands when you want to deliver, especially when you want to deliver certain emotional things, you can show that in your facial expression. And apart from that, I would say that, and I was wondering what she's going to talk about Nike, the word Nike in her icebreaker speech, and she has utilized the slogan of Nike, just do it, and throughout her life, and that has led to where she is today. And I wish her that please continue, just do it, and you can do it, and all the very best for your future speeches.
Thank you, Pravda. To evaluate the second speech, which is given by Toastmaster Rahesh Shahu from the Pathway Leadership Development, this is a level 1, project 4, which is evaluation and feedback. We have a visiting Toastmaster. So what comes to your mind when I say Virudhunagar?
Champions.
Champions? Yes. I was going for that. Maybe Dinakaran would say Baroda is favorite. Shamraj, yes. Champions. There are 2 district champions, the same person, winning 2 contests this time. And we hope that she is visiting, she has come to Chennai. And we hope to meet the standards that she is expecting from our club, because Virudhunagar Toastmasters Club, were you part of that club, man? Yes. Virudhunagar Toastmasters Club holds the record for highest attendance in the
district.
No, not the district conference. There was a world record event that for 36 hours continuously, we have to talk about the 75th, their club holds the highest record attendance. So she has been, as she mentioned in the initial introduction, she has been part of Toastmasters active since 2012, 6-7 years, and we hope we take from your wisdom today. Let us all welcome Toastmaster Priyam to evaluate Toastmaster Rajesh Shahu.
Toastmaster Rajesh Shahu, just calm down a bit, no need of so much pressure. I know he added so much pressure, bringing all the club and the champions and everything. My expectation is not more than what is in your speech purpose. You had a very catchy title. Right from the agenda was sent out, I was curious what is going to come up in this speech, and you kept that surprise until you came here and delivered the speech. And we were all thinking, was it you're going to share your honeymoon experience or your travel experience or your vacation experience? What is this all about? That curiosity factor was there. And you broke that in a very nice way, and it was an unexpected story for all of us. You are a great visual storyteller already, that is what I saw today. And you shared a very touching story, and till the end, it kept us all captivated. You had very good hand gestures, you were easy in the stage. You had very good use of humor in your speech, it was not overdone. There was humor, and you gave us space to understand the humor and laugh. I appreciate the pauses you had. Some people, they get very nervous when they start sharing their personal story. They rush it, and we miss what the emotion they actually came to share. I really liked your passes, the way you used passes. You had a very relaxed pace. You were not too fast or too slow. That's something commendable, which some speakers, they get really fast on the stage, and we had to ask them to slow down a bit and ease. You have a very good voice, and you used it very well here on the stage. One thing that I noticed was most of us have is your mother tongue influence on your English accent. That is something over time, when you work upon, that will slowly go away. All around, it was a catchy title. It kept us hooked. You kept us curious till the end. And to challenge you, I would, I don't know if everyone noticed, but if we keenly noticed, I could see you have a bit of stuttering in the middle. You can try tongue twisters every day. You can take one tongue twister, and then you can practice every day for 10 minutes. Or whenever you're walking or jogging, you can try the tongue twisters. So slowly the stuttering will go away without you're conscious. And you can listen to podcasts where you have the American accent radio shows, where you will have the transcript, so you know what words they're pronouncing. That will help you to overcome the mother tongue influence on your accent.
But overall, it was a commendable speech. Your spoken language was clear and easily understood. You had very good use of voice. You could add a bit of variety in your tone. You have very good voice. And you can add some dialogues. You can take two positions in this stage. You can add some dialogue like your teacher at one end and you at the other. And you could have used, there is a lot of room here. You could have used this space. And I can't wait to hear your next speech. Thank you.
So the third speech we had situative, prepared to speak professionally. The project is from the Pathway Dynamic Leadership Level 5 project. It's the second project. So in the agenda it is given as 5-8. I didn't know what it was. I could not say 58.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Elective is 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's an elective project. Okay. So it's an elective project, which means she would have already done 1 or 2 projects, and then this is an elective project. Okay. So to evaluate Sandhya's speech, my mind goes back to the orators of Tech Mahindra. So he was part of Tech Mahindra, TM Sundaraman, and we had a joint meeting session. Corporate clubs, hardly anybody present. That's how it is in the corporate clubs. Hardly anybody present, and he came in. We had a joint meeting with our club, Infosys Toastmasters. That's when I first got introduced to him. One by one until today, I have so much information about him, about his son as well, about their whereabouts, where they are coming from. But all that's said and done, from what I hear is he has incredible passion towards Carnatic music. One thing that I've noticed, incredible passion towards Toastmasters. Speaking, business storytelling, he's a business storyteller. Going back in Tamil literature, he has such passion in Tamil literature too. Let us all put our hands together to welcome TM Sundaraman to evaluate Sandhya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmasters and guests, very rarely we get an opportunity to listen to a keynote speech in a Toastmaster meeting. Normally keynote speeches are delivered in conferences and seminars. And let me give a quick overview about what is keynote speech is all about. Keynote is a high profile, influential speech delivered on the beginning session of a conference or at the end of the conference by a sagacious speaker. And the prime purpose of the keynote is to provide a memorable experience to the audience. Let's try to dissect the speech of Toastmaster Sandhya. So what really went well and what are my suggestions? The first strong appreciation for Toastmaster Sandhya is about our vocal variety, right? So vocal variety plays a crucial role, especially when you are addressing a large gathering. So the vocal variety comprises of 3 P's and 3 V's. One is pitch, pause and pronunciation. Those are 3 P's. And the 3 V's are volume, that is variation in volume, and velocity, that means rate of delivery, and finally the vocal variety, that means natural and then not having a irritable voice kind of stuff. So you scored very well on the vocal variety part. And the second thing is, even your topic is a little dry or it is generic, adding a sprinkle of humor, that is going to connect with your audience. I like this subtle humor, especially you mentioned the dialogue between the bumblebee and the human being, as well the certain words, right, the ironic words like filthy rich, deadly beautiful kind of stuff. And then finally the muhurtam, right? So all marriages happen in a muhurtam, but doesn't mean that all weddings are successful. So I like the humor part of it. And you had a variety of support material. So sometimes you quoted a paper clipping, sometimes you come out with the personal experience. I like the genre of what is that repertoire of the supporting material. But since this is an advanced speech as well as a keynote speech, I have 4 strong recommendations for you. Number one is the opening of the slide. So instead of showing a slide, you could have asked a question or you could have started with some startling facts. Especially when I saw that Japanese picture and the bombing, I think all of us are familiar with this fact that Japan came out very well within 5 years after the bombing. So it was a little bit of a cliched opening. So probably you could have worked on that. The second aspect where you could have scored well is the navigation of these slides. So you are struggling to and fro between the slides. So that was a little distracting to me. The third one is the title could have been more intriguing. So the moment you say positivity, we know what your content would be. So there was no surprise material. So probably if I were in your place,
I could have titled this speech as the sunflower effect. Probably if you want to know, just to go and Google what is sunflower effect. The last one is, why should I listen to you? So probably if the same content is delivered by another person, why should I listen to you? So that is where you have to bring your credibility by sharing your personal experience. Though you mentioned about Venkatraman uncle, it was a minor part of it. So substantial portion of a keynote speech should be your personal experience. So those are my strong recommendations. Otherwise, I thoroughly enjoyed your keynote speech. Over to the general evaluator.
Now we could vote for the best evaluator. Timer, could you mention the names of the qualified evaluators?
All the three speakers are qualified, evaluators are qualified. TM Pravda, TM Priyadarshini, TM Dharan.
Let us take some 10 seconds to vote for the best evaluator, and we'll move on to the tag reports. Okay, we'll move on to the tag reports. For the timer, I invite Toastmaster Sintana to share her report.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. So here is the timer report. And so the prepared speakers, the TM Kausalya took 5 minutes and 9 seconds. TM Rajesh Sahu took 6 minutes and 51 seconds. TM Sandhya took 19 minutes and 8 seconds. And PT speakers, TM Priyadarshini took 2 minutes and 32 seconds. TM Venkataseshan took 1 minute and 40 seconds. TM Srianand took 1 minute and 56 seconds. Guest Sajeev took 1 minute. TM Rekha took 1 minute and 20 seconds. TM Vijayarajan took 1 minute and 2 seconds. TM Suhail took 1 minute and 38 seconds. And TM Kumaresan took 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the evaluators, TM Pravda took 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And TM Priyan took 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And TM Sundaraman sir took 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Yeah. And President TM Dinakaran took 6 minutes and 30 seconds, and TM Anuradha so far took around 10 minutes, and yeah, that's it. That's it. This is the timer report. Thank you.
For the accountants report, let us invite Kalyani.
Today, TM Keithan had his first role player, so he used short passes frequently. Then TM Dinakaran has used so 2 times, more than 2 times. TM Anuradha used more so. TM Jagan used the words so and but. TM Sintana used more times and so. TM Praveena used and then so. TM Kausalya used so more than 2 times. TM Pravda used so and like. TM Rajesh used so more times, but, and he used the repeated words you know. And TM Priyan used so 2 times, and then but. DTM Sundaraman used so more times, like and but. TM Sandhya used so more times, but, and he used repeat words you can't and deeper. TM Nishana used so 2 times. Then, and coming to the TT Masters, TM Priyadarshini used you know 2 times, and TM Venkataseshan used next 2 times. TM Srianand used more, then more number of times. Guest Sajeev used so and but 2 times. TM Rekha used 2 times. Guest Vijayarajan used so 1 time. TM Suhail used so but, and TM Kumaresan he used I mean like. Then TM Sandhya, thank you.
Venkat is smiling, laughing because the practice of giving a handshake is now, I believe, is established. So that we can take it up. Nobody leaves the stage without shaking hands. The third role player of the tag is the grammarian. Let us invite Praveena with a good hand. Applause.
The word sagacious was used 5 times. twice by Toastmaster Sandhya, once by TT speaker Kumresh, guest, TMoD and DTM Dharan. There were a number of wonderful usage of the English language. So if I have to mention each and every usage, then I think the time, we will far shoot the time, and so will I. So I will just take some of the key aspects which I felt stood out. Most notable was I liked TMoD Anuradha and speaker Rajesh Saho. Why? Because they used clear, simple language, short sentences, so it was easy for all of us to understand, and that is one of the key aspects of a speaker, where it is easy for all of us to understand what they say. Toastmaster Jagan, you speak like as if it's your first language or a mother tongue. The flow is excellent. He deserves a big round of applause. Speaker Kaushalya used scholarly, intimidating. Speaker Rajesh used multiplying the heat by many times, cost of a low scoring paper. I don't know how perfect it is as a language, but then it did sound interesting. Yeah. Speaker Sandhya, obviously, fear psychosis, drawn into a nutshell, positive mindset, track negativity, positivity, and one that stood out was stand as God in the doorstep of your mind. That was very powerful. The table topics had some interesting words like irrational phobia, vulnerability, and Priyadarshini saying live in the moment. The table topic speaker whose topic was about being a hero, optimistic, visionary. And another table topic speaker, sorry I forgot his name, attitude determines the altitude. Speaker, yeah. Yes. Then Evaluator Pravda, appropriate to the content, flow of the stream. And DTM Sundaraman, dissect, repertoire, cliche, and I think the correct pronunciation for intriguing is actually intriguing. Intriguing. And yeah, like that, a few places where a bit of scope of improvement is required is one where BP was high normal, it's actually upper normal. Only one question I asked her, I asked her only one question. As long as I won, maybe that's right, but in the context of this speech, it must have been as long as I was winning. As long as I was winning. Put a vertical line, it should be draw a vertical line. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much.
It is the only place where an English teacher giving us this is where we could improve, and the audience are joining it. Yes. It should be like this, it should be like this. Is the only place where we would find it. Coming to the GE's report, I want to know from you all, how was the meeting? You could be critical. It's not awesome, good. How was the meeting? How did you feel?
With a full of positive vibration.
Thank you. Credit goes to Sandhya, I think so. Direct feedback. Anyone else?
Temperature control would be better.
Sorry?
Temperature control would be better.
Out of my hands. Out of my hands.
I liked it though I didn't get a chance to speak. Yes. That's a high praise.
Yes, certainly.
A few non-role players didn't get a chance.
Yes.
High praise. I liked it.
Somehow I feel that the team can align with either leadership or speaking. Sometimes we take teams which are outside the scope of Toastmasters, right? That is one comment.
Point taken.
Not at over. TM.
Feedback so fast it will be taken. The next 3 minutes. Yes, next 3 minutes will be related to communication leadership. But before you guys doubt that I've ever done any role at all, but I have done something for the GE's role. First kudos to the Sergeant at Arms because he's doing it for the first time. Very confident in starting, explaining the 3 do's and the don'ts. Very well done. And I would also love to appreciate the presiding officer for introducing the previous XCOM. Because generally it is introduced at the start. But now it's introducing at the end, which tells us who was responsible for what. And kudos to you, the job that you have done in the last 6 months. And the third thing is the attendance. We had to pull chairs.
Wow.
And I saw one incident. What had happened? Whenever we want to find a seat in a bus, what do? We put a kerchief, right? I saw that happening. So I'm very proud that we are back here. Kudos to the ExCom, not only the past 6 months, but also the 6 months which was led by Saravanan. They took the chance of coming back full in person, and that's why we are here today. Now, Toastmaster of the day, the Bumblebee, very confident, bustling on stage. She had something for everybody. And I was laughing when she introduced TM Sundararaman as Ulagam Sutrumbali. He really is. And that comes with personalizing the connect, the touch that we have here. Now there are few appreciations, standouts that I see. I would like to appreciate Vijay Rangan, because what happened, there's one particular thing. He had come in late, about 2 or 3 minutes. He stood there for the speaker to get off. Now let's give a big round of applause, because I know for a fact that there were 2 speakers who felt very uncomfortable to see people walking out. I know for a fact that there were people, it was in their face, I could see them. And not only that, I didn't follow what they were saying after that. Because there was movement, I was obviously distracted. I had to look into the GE, I had to look in where the Sergeant at Arms. Sergeant at Arms is responsible for all this. So it was in the back of my mind, and I would like to appreciate Vijay for just standing there. By just standing there, that's all we require. Because in the district conference, Bharati Bhaskar had come in. She specifically pointed this out. For contestants, we don't allow people coming in. It takes so much courage to put ourselves in front of the audience and stand here and talk. Why not do that for all of us? Let's not open the doors, just keep a bit of, and then we'll move out. And I'd also like to appreciate Sundar for doing it in between for the table topics. For Venkat for doing it in between the table topics as well. So the third thing, I want to appreciate the speakers for their honesty and hard work. We are having, for the 3 or 4 weeks, we are having good quality speeches. And it was very clear, all the 3 of them have written this, prepared it to their dead honesty. It just came out very well to me. And also kudos to the evaluators. For example, Pravda was just her nurturing self. And the second evaluator, Priya, was her analytical self. And TM Sundararaman had to be, because it's a level 5 speech. And he was so analytical and logical, he had to. And that's how it must be. And I loved all the 3 speeches and their evaluations. Appreciation to the table topics master. I could not figure out how there is this logic that for experienced Toastmaster, you give difficult topic or rather a challenging one. And for newer Toastmasters and guests, you give an easier one. Whatever she did made me feel good today. And that's all I'm looking for. The array of topics that she had very intelligently picked. You won't find that top 10 topics to give in. No, it's not there. It's not there in the internet. So she had put in her work, very well done. Now there are about 8 or 9 points of improvement. Is the time done? Okay, I will write this down. One thing that I did find, we don't generally give 30 seconds grace for table topics. It's not there. It's not there in the contest. In club, it depends upon it depends upon the ExCom, how they want to take it, and we want to tell the audience how to vote. We can't do that in between. It's the Sergeant at Arms' responsibility to be able to set up things as well. Not only, it's not the President's responsibility to come and set up. The Sergeant at Arms' responsibility to sit on the other side and see if who is coming in, who is going out. So there are about 8 or 9 points, but I want to concentrate on the appreciations here. Appreciations to all of us, because the room is full and we won't get this elsewhere. Over to the person.
For your critical reviews. Now coming to the conclusion. We should embrace ourselves by improving our physical health and mental health for the benefit of us as well as Toastmasters. I'll come to that. I have already script there, not instantly prepared. So how to improve our physical activity? By eating right food at right time and right quantity, and by having a good quality sleep and physical activity. All of this will increase our happy hormones and make us healthy. And whereas meditation and breathing exercise will make us mindful and it will improve our mental health. So both physical health and mental health are needed for all of us. You can ask, why are you talking this in Toastmasters? The reason is, good physical health help us to maintain good gesture and body language that is needed for the Toastmaster. So I want all of you to do physical activity to maintain the good gesture and body language during your speech. Then meditation and mindfulness will bring out your hidden talent. As my mentor told last week, sit and think, go by your thoughts. That will bring out your hidden talents. Same thing, meditation will bring your hidden talent, so you can choose your pathways easily and you can write your projects. Third thing, practicing breathing exercise will increase your lung capacity and which will help in voice modulation and vocal variety. I believe Sandhya's lung is effective so that she is able to give her talk for 22 minutes. Because I have seen her going for a walk in Palwakam beach daily with her headphone. That increased her physical activity, that is physical fitness as well as her lung capacity. That made her comfortable in speaking for 22 minutes. So, to conclude, my dear Toastmasters and guests, visit Medley Club regularly, attend all the meetings, take up whatever role possible that will release your dose from your body. So, if dose is released internally, we can reduce the dose of medicine taken externally. So, embrace yourself with your physical activity and attending Medley meeting regularly. Over to Presiding Officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anuradha, for the wonderful theme and the speech and everything. Let's give a round of applause for all the role players. Okay. We also have our former President VNS joining us here. Like, sir, like, would you come here and then share a few words? Just share your today's experience. You can share your today's experience.
Mr. President, fellow Toastmasters, gentlemen, ladies. Actually, I was very much impressed by the way today's meeting was conducted. Of course, I came with an expectation, maybe a normal meeting. But it was conducted very well organized and a good crowd, and the presentations were up to standard. The speeches that, of course, topic section I missed. The speeches were very good, evaluations were also good. I could see a vast rational difference about 10 years back, how the club was, and the performance-wise I could see quality to a high caliber, and I think you will maintain this, and you can of course have more researchers and bring new ideas, new members, and only thing what I have to tell Toastmasters is that the place where people are molded. You are being trained. When I came to Toastmasters, I think in 1984 I joined the Toastmasters. The first meeting and onwards, the changes in me was phenomenal. And yesterday my engineer came and he was asking me, why should I join Toastmasters and is there anything good in Toastmasters? I said, first you decide whether you want to join or not. And if you want to join, second thing, you make full attendance. The attendance should be the first and predominant thing in Toastmasters. When I was in Toastmasters very active, if I miss one meeting, I used to feel that something lost. If you don't attend meetings for 3 weeks and then you come, you feel something different. You lost a lot of things. Now after this so many years, I feel that I lost a lot of things. So it is a treasure, and we have to use this platform for our own benefit and also the benefit of our families, friends. It should be taken to all, because we used to say, my wife used to say, I had a meeting of eye donation in Rotary Club. Then next Rotary meeting when I went to, one Rotarian came and told, Madam, you did not come for the last meeting. Eye donation, Mr. VNS has given a wonderful speech about eye donation. And in 3-4 people immediately donated their eyes after the meeting. That was all drama, already pre-arranged. Then my wife said, if I would have come, I would have even donated my ears. Because this speech I heard third, fourth time, fifth time, every time he is speaking. In the bed also he is speaking about eye donation. So this is something about Rotary. I think humor is the best element, to catch the attention of the people. In Manama Toastmasters Club, 2 days before, somebody called me from Bahrain. And Madhavi Tiwari was telling, I still remember about your infant Toastmasters joke. I used to say that we have got ILP, ILP, PLP. What is this ILP? Infant Youth Leadership Program. Infant means a small baby will come and learn how to speak. This if you watch the behavior of children, how they speak. My son used to say, I not know. At his age of 2 or 3, I not know. Hey, not like that, I don't know. Correct, I not know. Thank you very much. My best wishes for all of you.
Toastmaster Priya, would you like to come and share your experience and feedback?
It was nice being here, seeing so many people. I think I've seen few people in the Medley PT group as well. It was nice connecting with you all here in person. The meetings were of very good quality, and the content from TMoD General Evaluator I really liked, but it is far away for me to travel every week and attend these meetings, but I'm thinking at least once a month I should be able to visit and meet you all and have this feel of energy vibe up the Grammarian, TMoD, and I think I have seen many people in the division conference and district conference MCs and all that. It's good to personally come here to your club meetings than seeing you all there.
Saji, this could be our last guest feedback. The last guest feedback is what I'm saying. Next week you could be on number. So.
Yeah, sure. Hi, hello. So no, it really went well actually from the beginning to the last session of session. It was amazing actually. The stories of the first 3 speakers, which are really nice. No, Madam Kausalya, Madam, it was really interesting. I'm not mentioning everyone's names, but everyone was really interesting, the speeches and everything. So I should have joined this club long back actually, so I could have improved. So from next
where
week,
do you stay?
I stay in Nilangare.
Okay. So I think that was, yeah. So Sandhya is also there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Keep visiting it.
Sure.
Tamil.
It was really, I was really happy to hear most of the topics, particularly the topic from Rajesh Sahu, and it took me to my NCC camp and my warden period, and it remembered me a lot of good things, and also the inspirational speech from Sandhya. It was very nice, and also like so overall, I don't remember his name, General Evaluator. Whatever the way he took the session and he handled the things, it was very good. As a complete session, it is very nice to hear, and as I said earlier, it's an entertainment to me. So thank you so much for your time.
So while we are getting ready for the performance for the day, so I think some of you might have seen the message in the WhatsApp group. Most of you don't know, like the P for International Toastmasters, the TMI that we pay, is getting increased from $45 to $60. So we'll have to basically from August onwards, this fee is getting increased. So we have some plans like the regression and the new incoming XCOM, and we are trying to put together a plan. So for the current term, the last term or till June, so we'll be publishing the expenses details by next week, and maybe within a week we'll turn around the budget for the coming this term, new term by Venkataseshan and team. By July 15th is what we are targeting, so that we can actually avoid that increase in the TMI fee. So we'll go with $45 in case we can renew for all the members by July end. So we would avoid that $15 of extra fee for all of the members. So we are trying to work towards that. So we'll try to.
We must do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it is $45 for 6 months, which we are paying now. Now after I think 6 years or so, TMI is increasing it to $60. So it is for 6 months. It's going to be $60, but they have given a choice. If the member pays before July 31st, then they could avail $45 for the 6 months, this next term. So we will come up with the budget by July 15th. The members will have an opportunity to pay within next 10 days, 15th to 25th, so that we could do the renewal before 31st of July with $45, whatever we are having now, so that we could avoid that additional $15. So that's the plan. 15th of July, we will plan to have the budget session and get the approval. And by 25th, we request all the members to do the payment to avail that $45. Otherwise, beyond that, you could do the payment, but it will be $60 for 6 months. So that will be the revised rate.
And please let me know if you need any help on the budget and all. I can give you the accounts.
Yeah, I will forward everything. I will reach out to you. Sure.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Ajay. Yeah.
So now we'll move on to the performance for today. So best speaker, Toastmaster Sandhya. Best TT speaker, Toastmaster Kumareshan. Best Evaluator, TM Dharan. role player Toastmaster Jagan. First tag role player Toastmaster Pravina. Okay. With this, we're coming to the end of the meeting. With the sound of the gavel, I declare meeting number 7 o'clock.